Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. You in the kitchen, too? Thank you so much for coming. I would say to this gallery opening, but it's the gallery closing. Yeah. For coming to view my paintings. And I'm going to start with a song to get my brain loosened up, be able to speak coherently. You remind me of someone, I don't know who, an old familiar face, maybe a lover from my wilder youth, or my mother in her younger days. Maybe in a former life I was a serviceman and you were my wife. You remind me of someone, I don't know who, maybe it's better that way. You remind me of someone, I don't know who, it's Georgia O'Keeffe, that's right, in your desert of shape and hue, bleached bones and silent grief. The way you stare off into space and see only what you want to face. You remind me of someone, I don't know who, someone who's a lot like me. Na na na. Did anybody ever tell you that you look a little like America's sight? A mother and child arranged, estranged, a mere brushstroke apart, while underneath your varnish hides an unpossessable soul. Oh, you remind me of someone, I don't know who, somebody who's so hard to know. Na na na. Yes, you remind me of someone, I don't know who, maybe the ghosts of things yet to come, or the shining eyes of my daughter dear, still waiting to be born, or the loving gaze of Mother Earth, still flirting with the universe. You remind me of someone, I don't know who, but somebody I could learn to love. Na na na, na na na. So much easier to sing than it is to talk, because I know what the next words are when I sing. When I talk, I just make it up. But walking in here and seeing 5 of my paintings was like walking in a room and seeing 5 old friends. The last time I saw them, they were in a box that I took to the mailman, took to the post office, and good luck. And I walk in here, and here they are. These are very recent paintings. I just painted them a couple of months before I came. Come on in. And I went to school for art back when I was in my teens and 20s. I studied to be a painter. And when I got out of school, I painted for a while and sold a few paintings. And I kind of realized it would be a hard way to make a living, for one thing. But I was also playing music at the time, and it just seemed like, at that point in my life, music was what I should do. Because with music, you play a song and people react, they either dance or they clap, and so you have this immediate relationship with the people that you're performing for. And with painting, it's more of an act of faith.
You spend a lot of time alone working on it, and no one's telling you, oh yeah, it's going well. Yeah, keep going. You just have to believe in what you're doing, and you just keep going, and then you move on to the next painting and you work on it, and you get lost in your work, and you're not really sure if things are going well or not. You just have to keep going. And then when it's finished, and you find some place that you can show it to people, well, some people will come up and say, oh, like the paintings. But many people will just, and you never really know what they think. So it's more of an act of, painting is more of an act of faith. You just have to believe in what you're doing and believe that someone is going to respond to it, even though you may never find out. Because not everyone buys paintings. I don't buy very many paintings, but I look at lots of paintings and I'm very moved by many different artists' work that I never get to talk to. So painting, you just have to believe and keep working on it. I actually, over the past 3 or 4 years, I've mostly worked in watercolor. But this time I wanted to work on canvas. But I kind of wanted to take some of the things I liked about watercolor and see if I could make it work on canvas. I don't know why, I don't have a good reason, it just seemed like the thing to do. But there's kind of a wetness to all these paintings where you can see that the paint was very wet, and oftentimes I put color down and then just take water and throw water on the canvas and let the water do the work. That's one of the beautiful things about watercolor, is that the water does the work. You don't have to sit there and paint every single stroke. So I tried to approach these canvases that same way, where I put down a lot of paint and then get a lot of water going, and so things would emerge. Skies and clouds would appear without really painting the cloud itself. Just let the cloud appear. And then landscapes and horizons would appear, and so the paintings would kind of start building themselves, and then I would decide, well, maybe there should be a person in this painting, and I would figure out which direction the painting should go. And in this little painting of sunflowers, the whole painting was just black, just black paint, and not even paint from a tube, but the kind of paint that you paint your house with, or your chair, you know. And then I just started putting water on it, and little flowers appeared. Things that I couldn't have painted that with a brush. And so then after that happens, then while the paint is still wet, get in there and mess around a little bit, and painting's done. Sometimes the best things happen the less you work on it. There was one of the Impressionists said it takes two people to make a good painting. One person to paint it, and the other there to stand there with a hammer and then hit him in the head before he messes it up. So I always like that. You have to know when to stop. Painting people, not painting people. I had an art agent tell me, no one wants to buy paintings of people they don't know. Okay. But many of the pieces of art that through history that have moved us the most are paintings of people who are looking right at you, you know. You feel like you're looking into their life, and you're looking into their heart a little bit, and you don't even have to know who they are. You don't have to know who they are. And yet you can see just something in a person's face or in a person's eyes. And this guy, this is called Travelers, and they just look like they're going somewhere, or maybe they're coming back from somewhere. But I like the fact that they're looking at you. That they may be traveling, but they see you too. And I'm kind of getting lost in thought, so I'll play another song. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with my band. It's our band that's playing tonight. But we're from Kansas City, right in the very middle of the United States. And I come from a very small town near there. That's where I grew up, a little farm community. And when our band started having success back in the 1980s, both in the United States and in Europe, and particularly in Norway, it seemed that what people liked about our band was the fact that we were not from Los Angeles, and we were not from New York, and we were not from London. We weren't even from Oslo. We were from some strange country place. And the things that we sang about, I think people found that interesting. And I just was singing about where I grew up and what I knew about. And that's the subject matter I always go back to, either in songwriting or in painting, is I go back to the place I grew up. And these two paintings, they don't really fit together like that. But if you were standing out there where they were painted, that house just goes right on over to that field. This is a farm and some land that has been in my extended family for many generations. And whenever I go out there, I always just see something I like. So this song is about this land.
Hills hold the bones of our long gone daddies and mamas. In slumbers they dream of the way we're tending their land. And you know we owe to the coming generations a clear view from these hills, that their dreams are still at hand. Show me these hills, and I'll show you honest people that don't judge you by your words. They judge you by your deeds. They don't swallow no promise from some big corporation. They follow the promise of the soil and the sea. The leaves are falling, these hills are calling. Come home, you're needed, good stewards of the land. Together we've traveled where the asphalt meets the gravel, down the fence rows, past the headstones, and through every crossroads town. To the mountains and the oceans, and they're both a little overrated. These hills are the heavens that I dream about. The leaves are falling, these hills are calling. Come home, you're needed, good stewards of the land. Come home, you're needed, good stewards of the land.
I had to swing around and sing to my brother for a minute. He'd appreciate that. He's never going to get to